Orion Drift has arrived. This game, I think, is going to be one of the biggest releases of 2025 in VR. And I don't think it's going to be just a flash in the pan game either. I think this one is going to have really long legs and be popular for the long run, mainly because of the team behind it. So the developer of Orion Drift is another Axiom, which is the team behind Gorilla Tag, one of the most popular VR games out there. But they also have team members on the Orion Drift team that worked on Echo VR. Quick side note, Echo VR is my all-time favorite VR game. Honestly, it might be my favorite video game of all time. It is a game that's no longer available, unfortunately. They discontinued it, shut down all the servers. But if you haven't played Echo VR, it basically was a VR sport that took place in zero gravity. You were flying around this zero gravity arena, you and your team members throwing a disc through your opponent's goal while they tried to throw that same disc through your goal. You were flying around with these boosters on your wrist and pushing and pulling off of the environment, even pulling and pushing off of your team members and opponents. And it was amazing. Fantastic, fantastic game that to this day, when I think about it, it makes me sad that it's gone. I love that game so much. But back to Orion Drift, a lot of the team there that worked on Echo VR is working on this game as well. And so you combine that with the Gorilla Tag developers, and I am very optimistic that this game is going to be supported and successful in the long run. Now, it just opened up in early access yesterday, open early access yesterday for anyone to be able to play. Prior to that, it was in closed early access, so only you had to have an invite to get in. So I was just now able to start playing around with it yesterday, and I put in maybe an hour, hour and a half with it, and I wanted to share my quick first impressions. And I was impressed. It lived up to the hype I had built for it in my head as I had heard about the game. And being an Echo VR fan, this was one I was keeping my eye on and waiting to get to play it. And it was really cool. Now, to kind of give you the overview of it, if you haven't heard of Orion Drift yet, you will be hearing a ton about it, I'm sure, this week and going forward. But if you haven't yet, basically you are a robot on a giant space station, and you are navigating around with that similar Gorilla Tag style movement. There's a few twists on that Gorilla Tag style movement though, so it's not just using your arms. Like in Echo VR, you have these rocket boosters in your wrist you can control to fly around, and it is in zero gravity or in space. So even in the Gorilla Tag movement, if you pull yourself in a direction, you are going to continue moving in that direction until you stop yourself or change direction. So it's kind of using that low gravity to give you that drifting style movement, hence the name Orion Drift. But it works really well. It's very, very intuitive to me because I have dabbled with Gorilla Tag and with my kids. And so I kind of picked up the movement right away. The wrist boosters flying around felt very much like Echo VR, so it was very natural. And that's kind of the movement style. This is a very social game. The servers have, I believe, 75 people per server. And just playing it last night, there were tons of servers, and most of them looked full or close to full. So lots of people are playing this game already, which is great. And on each station, once you're in the game, there's people just going around doing their own thing. You can hang out with them or explore the station. There are different sections of the station with different activities. I'm going to go more in depth into Orion Drift in future videos. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of content on this game because as you could probably tell already, I'm excited about it and I really liked my first play of it. But the key main kind of centerpiece of the game is called Drift Ball. That's the sport in this world, and it is played very much similar to Echo VR. So it's 3 versus 3, so 2 teams of 3, and you are trying to score goals in your opponent's goal. It's a ball you're hitting around and passing between your teammates, and the arena has different levels and obstacles and things like that, and it is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I will be honest, I'm terrible at it right now. I was playing with my cousin and we played just 1v1 against each other to practice. And I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. And then I played a few matches with other people and realized, no, I'm not really getting the hang of it. I was getting wrecked. But still having a good time to where I want to keep playing and get better at this. Again, if you haven't played Echo VR, how the drift ball works is similar to maybe Rocket League, if you've ever played Rocket League. So you're hitting this ball around and you're flying up, smacking the ball. It feels kind of like Rocket League-ish if you've ever played that, or if you've played Echo VR, you'll get the feel for it. It's a ball and not a disc. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the cool thing with this game is they're just getting started. As I mentioned, it's early access. You can already see all of the improvements they're working on of different sections of this station that are going to be opening up with different games and activities for people to do. But even in its state now, it is a massive environment you get to explore. And so even if this was the final product, I would say it's a lot going on. But I know from what I've been reading and looking at and just seeing when I was exploring the world in the game, there's a lot more to come. So it's going to be really exciting to see how they expand on it. And because they have that Gorilla Tag backing, they're going to have a lot of support and fans off the bat. I was blown away by how many people were playing it last night. There was tons and tons of servers full of people. Now, quick note. If you watched my Gorilla Tag video I recently posted, you know I am not a fan of Gorilla Tag for myself. I think for kids, it's fine with the right supervision, but it's not really a game I would recommend for adults, just mainly because it's just full of little kids and can be very toxic environment. So since this is from the same makers, is this going to have the same problem? I don't think so. I think this game is going to be a lot more adult friendly. One, I think another Axiom knows the problems with Gorilla Tag as far as with adults playing it, and they're not going to let that happen to this game because it is a little more geared towards both kids and adults. This is a kid-friendly game too, don't get me wrong, definitely kid-friendly, but they're putting some things in there, I think, to make it more adult-friendly as well. The first thing is there are moderators on a lot of these servers kicking people who are cursing and speaking toxic or bullying one another. So that is a huge help. And people have already been posting accounts of the moderators taking action and doing things, which is great. So hopefully that keeps up. And two, they are actually making 18 and over only servers. So you actually can go on one of these servers and it's going to only be adults, which is great for adult gamers. Now, quick note, they are going to be putting in age verification on those servers eventually to actually have people have to verify their age to play on the server. Right now, that's not the case, so there could be some kids that get mixed in there, and hopefully the moderators can help, weed those out. So it's not going to be a perfect solution, but they're working to make this game more adult friendly than what Gorilla Tag is. And the actual core game of it, take out the social aspect, the core game of this is much more adult friendly than what Gorilla Tag is. It's going to be more fun for adults. So anyways, this was longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted to do a really quick first impression video, but I'm very excited about this game, so I couldn't stop myself from talking a little too much. But anyways, I will for sure be doing more videos on Orion Drift, so please subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for that. And as always, please like the video and comment below if you are playing Orion Drift or if you are planning to play it in the future. Let me know. But anyways, that's my first thoughts on Orion's Drift. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care.